This is the Topic 3 Assessment Practice, page 2 or page 110 in your textbooks. Number 8, Casey has 3 bags of baseballs. Each bag has 6 baseballs. How many baseballs does he have? Show your work. Okay, so as with any word problem, first, we need to ask ourselves, what is the question asking us to do? So the question is asking us to find how many baseballs does Casey have? And I need to show my work. So I could visualize this problem by drawing a picture. So I have 3 bags of baseballs, and I have 6 baseballs in each bag. Since I'm talking about equal groups, I have 3 groups of 6, and the expression for that would be 3 times 6. If I know my multiplication facts already, or if I want to do skip counting in my head, I could find the answer. I could also use the distributive property. So if I wanted to do that, I could say, well, 3 is the same as 1 and 2. So 1 times 6 equals 6. And 2 times 6, I know my 2's facts, those are easy. It's just double 6. So 2 times 6 equals 12. And 6 plus 12 equals 18. So the answer is 18, but I'm not finished yet, baseballs. And it says, show your work. So I'm going to want to see your work either on another piece of paper, or somehow you can fit it all in the box right here for problem number 8. Number 9, Jonathan organizes his pictures into a 6x4 array. Kim organizes her pictures into a 7x5 array. How can Kim and Jonathan break apart their arrays? Write each pair of facts in the correct space. So, where are the facts coming from? So when they talk about each pair of facts, they've listed all of the facts here for you. And now all you need to do is put them into the right space. So the first one, 5 times 5 and 2 times 5. Just like in part 1 or page 1, you should think of the and as a plus sign. So if you think of 5 times 5 plus 2 times 5, well, that fact would go here under 7 times 5. So this is what I will want to see here in the space. 1 times 4 and 5 times 4. Well, the factor 4 appears here in Jonathan's array, and 1 and 5 equals 6. So 1 times 4 and 5 times 4 go here. 4 times 5 and 3 times 5. So 5 is the factor that appears twice. 5 is a factor here in Kim's array. 4 and 3 make 7. So that array goes here. 4 times 5 plus 3 times 5. 1 times 5 and 6 times 5. Again, we have 5 as a factor. So 5 is a factor in Kim's array. And 1 and 6 make 7. So 1 times 5 plus 6 times 5 go here. Last one, 3 times 4 and 3 times 4. Well, 4 is a factor in Jonathan's array right here. And 3 and 3 make 6. So 3 times 4 and 3 times 4 go here. So in this problem, you are demonstrating your ability to understand and use the distributive property. Problem number 10. A farm stand has cherries on 2 shelves. Each shelf has 4 boxes. Each box has 8 ounces of cherries. How many ounces of cherries are displayed in all? Write an expression that represents the amount. Okay, so here is important, right? So what property are we being asked to use? We're being asked to use the associative property, the property that tells us that you can group the factors in any order and the product is going to stay the same. So how many factors do we have? We have 3 factors in this problem. And I forgot. Let's go ahead and start by saying, what is this problem asking us to do? It's asking us to find out how many ounces, pen please, how many ounces of cherries are displayed in all? Ounces is a unit of measurement. So how many ounces of cherries are displayed in all? We could visualize this if that's helpful. So first, we have 2 shelves, okay? Like shelves on a wall where we keep our dishes or we keep our food. And each shelf has 4 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll pretend that all these boxes are the same size. And that in each box, there are 8 ounces. And I don't have a lot of space, so I'm not going to write the ounces part, but I am going to write the 8 part. So I could, of course, add all of these up, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to instead use multiplication. So let's start first by writing the expression. The expression is that number sentence that shows the numbers and the operations that we're going to use. So let's do that in order. Okay, so looking at the problem, how many shelves do we have? 2. How many boxes on each shelf? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It says right there, 4. So 2 times 4. And then how many ounces are in each? 8. So 2 times 4 times 8. That is the expression. Notice that in an expression, there's no equal sign. It's not an equation because right now we don't know what's on the other side of the equation. So we leave that part off. This is an expression. So how do we find the answer? Well, with the associative property, it doesn't matter how we want to group the factors. The easiest way for me to do it, I think, is to say, well, what's 2 times 4? 2 times 4, that's easy. That's 8. So now I'm left with 8 times 8 equals, okay. Well, if you know your 8's facts, it's easy. You're going to know that we'll know the product. But if you don't know your 8's facts, you can use the distributive property to help you. So let's take one of these 8's and turn it into a 5 and a 3. So now we have 5 times 8 plus 3 times 8. And that's much more manageable because our 5's facts are easy. 5 times 8 equals, well, could skip count if you don't know the answer. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 40. And 3 times 8 equals 24. You could skip count to find 24 if you didn't know, or you could even use the distributive property again. Right? You could think, well, 2 times 8 is 16 and 1 times 8 is 8. So 16 plus 8 equals 24. You see, you can use the distributive property all the time. So now all you need to do is say, well, what's 40 plus 24? That's easy peasy because 40 plus 20 is 60. 60 plus 4 is 4. So you come up with 64. And so you're going to put in this little box right here, 64 ounces. Did we answer the question? Absolutely. We wrote an expression that represents the amount, and we also answered how many ounces of cherries are displayed in all. And we have successfully used the associative property. This problem number 11, has 2 parts. So 11. Amy arranged her counters into this array. Part A. What 2 facts could Amy use to write an equation for the array? All right. So when you see in this exam, in this test, 2 facts, what 2 facts? It is asking you to use the distributive property. What 2 facts? So step 1, let's first find out what this array represents as a multiplication expression. So how many groups? 1, 2, 3. So our first factor is 3. How many in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 3 times 9. But it's asking us what 2 expressions. So that means that I need to break apart this array. So one way that I could break it is, I could draw a line right here. So now instead of just 3 times 9, I have 1 times 9 because I have one group of 9 plus 2 because I have right here 2 groups of 9. 2 times 9. So I broke apart this 3 into a 1 and a 2. So 1 times 9 plus 2 times 9. That's one way that you could have done it. Want to see another way? Okay. So I'm going to delete all this. Delete. Okay, so another way is that instead of breaking it into 1 times 9 and 2 times 9, I could even break it apart like this. Ooh. So now I have 3. And now how many do I have in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4 plus 1, 2, 3, still the same number of groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 5. Okay, so the first fact would be 3 times 4. The second would be 3 times 5. So if I wanted to choose those, this is what I could write in the box. Okay, so 1 times 9 and 2 times 9 was the first one that I wrote. And then the second one is this 3 times 4 plus 3 times 5. That's part A. Part B. If Amy adds one more row of 9 counters to her array, can she still use the facts you wrote in part A to find the total number? Explain why or why not. Yay, I know you guys love to explain. So let's just, for example, let's say that I had written in here 1 times 9 plus 2 times 9. Okay, let's just say that that's what I had written. All right, now to visualize this, what are they asking us to do? That's probably going to be too big, so let's try this one. So if Amy adds one more row of 9 counters to her array, can she still use the facts you wrote? Okay, so let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I added another row. Now let's split apart this array and see if it still works. So 1 times 9, that's this right here. This is 1 times 9. Is this still 2 times 9? No, this is 3 times 9. So it definitely, those 2 facts still do not work anymore. So I would write down here, no. And they don't work because Amy now has, okay, pause here. Amy now has a different array. What is the new array? The new array is 4 times 9. So Amy now has a 4 times 9 array. Okay. So the sum of the products, you're not going to have enough room to write all this, are you? Of the products in part A, well, I'm going over here, doesn't equal 4 times 9. Now, if you wanted to, you don't have to use all of these words. You could use numbers and symbols to explain your thinking instead. So let's look at what that would look like. Because I know you guys don't love to use a bunch of words when you're doing your math. So I do want you to say no. Okay. But you could say new array. You can use a little colon and say new array 4 times 9. And then you could write 1 times 9 plus 2 times 9 equals 3 times 9. And then you can use this cool symbol here. Here's the equal sign. But if I draw a line, it means does not equal 4 times 9. Okay, so that is a shorthand, just using numbers and symbols, but you're saying the exact same thing, that the new array 4 times 9, that the products or that the sum of 1 times 9 and 2 times 9 does not equal 4 times 9. Last problem in the assessment practice. Number 12. Tim's family rented a canoe for 6 hours on Monday and 2 hours on Tuesday. How much did they spend? Show any equations you used. Okay, so step number 1, what is it asking us to do? The problem is asking us to find how much did they spend? Who's they? They is Tim's family. So how much did Tim's family spend? You know that anytime you see one of these data tables that you are going to be using the information that's provided here. So let me clean this up a little bit so that you can see better. Okay. I don't know if you can hear, but April is snoring in the background as I make this video. So April, shh, quiet. Okay, so 6 hours on Monday, and that's the canoe. Sorry, April's snoring is distracting me. Okay, 6 hours, the canoe for 6 hours. So 6 times 7. Because they rented the canoe for 6 hours, and the canoe costs $7 each hour to rent. So 6 times 7. I need to write down all the equations that I use. So I'm first making my equation here. Now, if I don't know my 6 facts or my 7 facts, what property can I use to help me? That's right, I can use the distributive property. So let's just do that really quick so that you can see. I'm going to break apart the 7 into a 2 and a 5 because 2's and 5's facts are easy. So that makes 6 times 2 plus 6 times 5. Oh, it's not going to let me. I've run out of room. Okay, so that's 12 plus 30 equals 42. Okay, so it cost $42 to rent the canoe on Monday. On Tuesday, they rented the canoe for 2 hours. What is a little bit tricky here? Well, in the data table, it shows us some information about the kayak, but they didn't rent a kayak, right? They only rent the canoe. So now I'm going to say, okay, 2 hours on Tuesday. So that's 2 times 7. I know my 2's facts. That's just a doubles fact. So that's 14. Am I finished? No, I'm not finished because I need to find out how much money they spent all together. And I need to show all the equations that I use. So here's the first equation, right? This big thing right here. This is the second equation. But what do I need to do now? Yes, I need to add the products together. So the first product is 42. They spent $42 on Monday. And on Tuesday, they spent $14. And 42 plus 14 is, well, let's see. 40 plus 10 is 50. 2 plus 4 is 6. And so I come up with 56. Well done. Okay. So the answer then is 56. But make sure that when you are solving this problem in the assessment practice and on the test, that you really do show me all of the equations that you used to solve it. And in this case, that's 3 equations because this problem has multiple steps. Okay, everyone, that is it. That is both pages of the assessment practice. If you can do both pages of this assessment practice, I promise you that you will do well on the test. All right, everyone, good work.